Hey guys, welcome to Mad Scientist Barbecue. I'm Jeremy Yoder. I'm here in Texas because today we're going to do a full Argentine Asado. I'm here with my buddy Al Fragoni. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. We're going to do the full thing, show you exactly how it's done. You ready, Al?
I'm ready.
Vamos.
Vamos.
As some of you may know, last year I went to Argentina. I got to experience the culture, I got to experience the food, both phenomenal. But one of the defining features about Argentina is that every house, and I mean that, every house has their own grill, or as they call it, a parrilla, so that they can do Argentine asados, because there, it's the heartbeat of Argentina. Argentine asados are not just a way of cooking. What is it, Al?
It's a way of life.
It is a way of life. It's truly remarkable. And to teach us about Argentine Asado, we needed a real Argentinian. So we got my buddy Al Fragoni, an absolute world-class master who's going to walk you through, step by step, exactly what you need to know to be able to do this yourself. So Al, what is, by the way, you guys need to subscribe to Al's new YouTube channel because he's going to be doing a lot more like this. So if this is content that you enjoy, you got to go subscribe so you don't miss any of the stuff that he's doing. Argentine open fire, asador style, traditional Argentine asado cooks, and then some mind-blowing stuff that I've never even seen before, like making a pizza out of a pork belly. Trust me, you're going to want to subscribe. So Al, what is an Argentine asado?
Okay, Argentinian asado is way more than a meal, right? Because a lot of people understand it as it's like a lunch or dinner, right? Every excuse is good for an asado, like a birthday, wedding, even funeral. We do asados all our lives. That's how we socialize. That's how we celebrate. When people ask me, hey Al, when did you start doing asados? When did you start cooking this way? Right. You grew up, but you used to go to my grandpa's, and then my dad used to do asado, then my older brother and that, and when you're a teenager, you started doing asado. So I would say Argentina is asado, asado is Argentina.
So asado is in your bones?
Yes.
So what do you usually cook for an asado?
Mainly asado is about beef, right?
Okay.
But it's way more than that, right? In Argentina, we are very used to cook and eat organ food. That is very common. I know here people are gonna freak out, but in Argentina,
Sure.
South America, it's very
Sure.
common, right? We eat organ foods. We eat like choripan. That's a classic, right?
Yeah, delicious.
I think it's illegal to do an asado without a choripan. We're gonna explain later what it is. We grill cheese, but the main thing in an asado is the beef, because Argentina is big on beef. We have a lot of cattle.
I read somewhere that Argentina eats more beef than any other country in the entire
per
world.
capita, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
So red meat and red wine are essential for asados?
Yes, and a little bit of salt. That's it.
Okay, so no complex rubs?
No, not this time.
Okay, so what do we need to actually get an asado going? Because it's probably not going to work if you just have a little kettle grill, right?
No, to make a real Argentinian asado, we have to have an Argentinian grill. Like?
This?
Yeah.
I have one similar at my house.
I know you
But
do,
you're
yeah.
the expert, so can you tell us about what makes this grill an Argentine-style grill versus a typical American grill?
Okay, this is a classic Argentinian grill, right? This is a tagwood. This is stainless steel. It's a portable, because normally in Argentina, this is built in the house. These guys, tagwood, they are based in Miami. The owner is Argentina, but he wanted to bring the Argentinian culture to the U.S.
You wanted to see everybody cooking beef and drinking Malbec and doing it the
Yes.
Argentine way, right?
That's we call it the Argentinian colonization of the U.S., right? Okay, back to the grill. So basically, what is an Argentinian grill? It's basically a Santa Maria with the grill going up and down. You can show it.
Sure.
See?
Or down.
Up and down. Another different thing that it has with the normal Santa Maria is they have like fire bricks, all covered in fire bricks. And this is the most important thing. We have a firebox. So a lot of people comment how how you cook here if you have your heat source here. So okay, this is not to cook. This is to prepare the embers to cook. So what we do, we build the fire here. You can use charcoal, we can use lamp charcoal, or we can use firewood. Once the ember drops, then you pull it all like even, right, about here, and that's how you control your heat, right? Remember we said in Argentina we don't cook with the heat directly?
Yeah.
Like normal Santa Marias in California, here in Texas, they put the grill higher. And again, nothing wrong with those grills, right? But this is a different style. They build a fire under it, and then they cook. It's like a high heat, right? Mm-hmm. And they keep flipping, right?
But
Again,
they have open flame under the grill.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
This is only embers, because to my understanding, is way easier to control embers than flame.
Yep.
Flame has a lot of peaks of heat, right? Argentinian style grilling should be a low open fire cook. That makes sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's still a real fire, and you're still grilling high heat, but you're doing it in a controlled way.
Exactly.
So you get exactly what you want. You don't risk burning things or having
Exactly.
something raw on the inside because you control it.
Exactly. You are in control. And how you control it, like I said, adding more or less coals or putting up and down the grill. That's the
Right.
two ways you can do it. My preference is to have it like this, probably 6 inches, this, 15 centimeters. I want to maintain that high, and I like to control my heat with embers.
Gotcha.
Right? If I'm running out of coals and I have to, I lower it up a little bit. I would say that asado is not a sprint, it's a marathon.
How long did they last?
Oh, an asado can last like a whole day.
Okay.
Because it's very common, and this happens a lot. You have your friends over, right, and with the kids, right? So they come and we eat an asado, right, and then we do the sobremesa. Sobremesa is something that I really miss from Argentina that we don't have here in the U.S. Is when you finish eating, you stay on the table and you drink a cafecito espresso, right? And then you stay on the table, like, you know, you bring desserts, and then you stay on the table, and then you stay on the table, and then you stay on the table until it's dinner time. And then you make the decision. We start another fire, or we order pizza, right? And normally we start another asado, and that's a very common thing to do. Like, people come over for lunch, and they stay for dinner.
So people hanging out,
Yes.
eating, drinking wine,
Exactly.
enjoying
Yes.
each other's company.
Yes, exactly. And mainly on the we sit in the table, right?
Gotcha.
I tried, honestly, when I moved here, I tried with my neighbors, but it was hard.
Give it time. I think people might come around once they understand.
Well-
Okay, so how do we get this thing to a place
Yeah.
where we can cook with it? How do you start the fire? I'm guessing it
Okay,
has to be a
yes,
firebox.
it's extremely easy. That's what I like about this firebox, right? Because at having that place here and all the air coming through, it's very easy. You have to add a little bit of wood chips or, you know, branches, and then we put the charcoal or firewood. You start it, and then we have like, I don't know, to wait like 30, 40 minutes until we have like coals and embers. So this is my torch again. This is my fire starter.
So with this firebox, I noticed you're putting wood in there, but I've also seen you use charcoal. How do you know if you should use wood or charcoal or both? How do you make that decision?
Well, that's kind of like a preference, a personal preference. I like to do both, and I can explain why. When you have to pick a firewood to do open fire, it's not about the smoke, the flavor of the wood. It's more about how it burns and the embers it's gonna build.
Right.
Right. So I like to use always a semi-hardwood. Here in Texas, we are like blessed with post oak or live oak. So I love all this is oak. So I think that's a perfect ratio of you know, a good flame and a good ember, right?
Yeah, I got to
So-
confess a little jealousy of this wood stack here. It's pretty awesome.
It's mine.
I
It's
see
mine.
it every
Don't look.
time, and every time I'm jealous. I'm like, man, that would be so nice.
No, we have oak. It's cheap around here, so I don't know. I know that oak is all over the place, but in some states they don't have it. I would recommend to that people like use like a semi-hard to hardwood they have there. For example, if you are cooking asador style, right? I like to burn mesquite because mesquite burns hotter, right?
Gotcha.
It's a lighter wood, but the flame that it, remember asador style, we cook with the radiant heat.
Yep.
So the flame of the mesquite is more like hotter. So I like mesquite better if I'm doing asador style. I like post oak when I cook in that, but also I like to mix it with charcoal.
Gotcha. And why charcoal?
Charcoal because the charcoal is gonna burn hotter and it's gonna last longer. When you mix it, you're gonna have the best of both worlds.
Gotcha.
You're gonna have the flavor of the oak, you know, the woody flavor, and then you're gonna have the resistance and the heat from the lamp charcoal.
And what do people use in Argentina?
That's a very good question. Because depends where you are, right? In Argentina, we have Buenos Aires, you know, you've been in Buenos Aires. So the people in Buenos Aires, because it's a big city, they use lamp charcoal,
Okay.
right? And everybody else in the country, including Uruguay, that is a different country, it's not a problem. So they use firewood. So they look at the people in Buenos Aires using charcoal like they're like, what are you doing? Like it's like a sacrilege, right? Like because they use lamp charcoal. They only use like 100% firewood.
Gotcha. And do you know what kind of wood? Is it like quebracho?
Yeah,
or?
well, quebracho blanco is very similar to oak. They have espinillo. It's a huge country, Argentina, so they have different woods, but
So kind of like the U.S., people use the wood that's
Exactly.
local to them.
yes.
So in South Texas, they might be using mesquite to cook with.
Yes, exactly.
In Tennessee or the Carolinas, they might be using hickory, or
True.
or in Louisiana, you might be using pecan.
For here, because I know the fruit wood is very expensive, I would recommend not to use that wood when you do open fire, because another thing that we talked about before, when you do open fire, you're gonna burn more wood. So we're gonna have like a lower price wood because you're gonna burn a lot.
Yeah. One thing I should say is, in the past, I've done some Argentine style cooking on my channel, a few videos, not a ton, but people always seem to comment about using a ton of wood. But really, if you do a beef rib cook Argentine style, you actually end up using less wood than if you're using an offset smoker, because the cook is so much shorter. So yeah, during a given period of time, you might be burning more wood doing an Argentine style cook, but because the beef rib cook might be 3.5 hours instead of 10, you end up using less wood. So don't think you're gonna spend huge amounts of money on wood if you want to do Argentine style. You don't use that much. If you're used to using wood for offset smoking or traditional American barbecue, this isn't too different. And if you're somebody who likes cooking meat with fire, there's no more fun way to do it than this way.
Very well said. Don't put my first part that I said that then. In open fire, a 4-hour cook is considered a long cook. If you're not cooking a whole animal, that's the maximum you're gonna cook in open fire, 4 hours.
Right.
That's considered a long cook. But a tri-tip, I don't know, steaks, you can cook everything like a pork rib, you can do that in 1 hour and a half. Okay, so we had the torch, right, made with paper towel and oil. We have the wood, and now we're gonna put the lamb charcoal. You don't wanna use briquettes on this style of cooking,
Okay, why?
because you have to move it around all the time. It has to drop, then you're gonna move it, and then maybe it's hot, you're gonna move it again. So the briquettes, once they're done, when you try to move it,
Fall apart?
they become ashes, right? So you can, but it's very, very uncomfortable to use that. Ash and fat, they can cause a fire.
Right. Okay.
So when you're dripping, if you're cooking like a very fatty, greasy piece of meat, like pork, the fat is gonna drop, and if it's a lot of ash, then when you keep adding, and you
Oh, so the ash soaks up the fat, and then you add more coals, and then big fire.
boom, yes,
Ah,
yes. If you're a boludo, that happened to you. But,
is that right?
Yeah.
So it might happen to me.
No, but you see online, right, all the time, like those fails, and the people like trying to, and once that's on, you're done.
Yeah. I've had my share of fails. Okay, Al, I see a bunch of different cuts in front of me. Some of them I recognize, some I'm not so familiar with. Obviously, we have a tri-tip, we have beef ribs, we have something looks really good over there. What is that?
This is actually a matambrito de cerdo. Actually, this is from Spain, but matambrito de cerdo is gonna be the first layer of the pork belly, right? So look how thin it is, right? In this case, this is Iberico pork, but that's a whole different animal. But we can go through that later.
That's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And then we have cheese, provolone.
Yeah, provolone cheese. But this sector is gonna be the part that I told you is achuras, right? That's gonna go up first, like appetizers, right? So we have mollejas, we have provolone cheese, aka provoleta. We have sausages for the choripanes, blood sausage, morcilla, and your favorite here,
Chinchulines.
chinchulines. This is intestines. I dare you to eat it.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't know. I'll do my best. So provoleta, morcilla, sausages, and then we have this big bowl of something you don't see in the U.S. all that often, at least not where I live.
Molleja. Molleja is sweetbreads. Technically, it's a thymus gland.
Okay.
Right? We have two. We have it on the throat and in the heart.
De corazón.
Molleja de corazón, molleja de garganta.
Which is better?
Corazón.
Okay.
So in Argentina, you can go to your meat market and say, I want molleja de corazón, and they give it to you. But here you buy your package of Swift, right? And it's like, lo que toca, toca, la suerte es loca. Whatever you get, what you get.
So, got a lot of cuts here. What do people most want? Like, what's the most prized, like the most desirable cut?
Okay, that's a good question, and the answer would be everything.
Okay.
But again, but it's
For you.
because that's what asado is. Asado is not a sprint. it's not a meal, it's a marathon. So you're gonna wait for the achuras. I love the choripan. I love the morcilla. The answer would be the molleja. That's my favorite, right?
For me, it's same.
Same, okay, but it's like asado is all about eating a little bit of everything, right? So we're gonna put all together, but we're gonna be eating as soon as they coming out.
Okay, so the Argentine way, put everything on, and as things finish, you pull them off.
Exactly, 3-4 hours of eating nonstop.
All right, so what do we have to do now to start cooking?
Okay, now we have to warm up the grill. We already have we have burning the fire for 30 minutes.
Okay.
So that's how long it takes to build the ember. Now you're gonna show. We're gonna put the first batch of coals. That's gonna warm all the grill.
Yep.
You know, the fire bricks and everything, and then we're gonna put the meat.
Beautiful. All right, let's do it.
That's what we want. Super red coals. So we're gonna spread them even. And then like any other grill that you have or you own, you have to know your grill, right? Where's the hot part, right? Like always. So of course, next to the firebox it's gonna be hotter. Right, so I don't want to add a lot of coals here. I'm gonna focus more in this part. And actually, you can create like more heat here, more slow cook here, right, in the same grill.
Totally.
But you control that, adding less or more coals. And remember, the first batch is gonna be the brick are gonna retain a lot of heat now. So probably the second batch is gonna be like in 10 more minutes. We have to add again, right?
So Al, I don't see any thermometers on here. There's not even a top to this grill. How do you have any idea what the temp is?
In open fire, we don't use tools. Open fire is all about feeling. So now, what I do is the Frugoni thermometer.
There you go.
So you put your hand here and you count in your head. Can you feel that? That's pretty hot. How long it lasts? Count. 4. For me, that's high heat. And now you do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
That makes sense?
Yeah, for sure.
So you can control the temperature, adding more or less coals, or going up and down. So we can start here, and like this.
Okay.
We can put all the meat together, and then we move from there.
Al, I'm going to stop you before you put that on. One thing I've noticed is I haven't seen you trimming anything. I haven't seen you take off any silver skin. I haven't seen you take off any fat. Why?
Because in open fire, the heat is way more aggressive than smoking, so you're gonna need all that to protect your meat. You need the fat, you need the bone, you need the membrane to cook. Not only is gonna help the cooking process, it's gonna add flavor, because bone, fat is flavor, right?
Sure.
So we're gonna cook it exactly like it is, and then if later you wanna take it off, you can take it off, right?
Okay.
You don't have to do it now. Now it's gonna help. Actually, we
protect it?
need it.
Yeah.
Like let's say this tri-tip here, right? See, they trim it way too much. I like the thick cup of fat, right, to protect more. But I'm not gonna touch anything here. We're gonna cook it like this.
So maximum protection, so you have meat that's as juicy as possible.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
It's gonna prevent from drying out, and also it's gonna help the cooking process. Probably the hottest part of the grill. This is gonna take the longest. So I'm gonna put bone side first, always, on the hottest spot in the grill.
Ooh, you can hear that.
Beethoven playing music.
Nice.
Like an opera, right? Second, the mollejas, they can take a lot of heat because, as you can tell, it's almost fat. It's basically all fat. In Argentina, when they have separated, this is probably half an inch,
Yeah?
right? Separation. Where you cook the achuras, it's more like close.
Oh, really?
The bar is thinner.
So they changed the grate.
Yes. So organ food is very greasy, and fatty. And that's why also in Argentina we have the B grades. I don't know if you saw them before. The ones that are like a V and they roll down to a grease tray.
Yeah.
That's because we eat a lot of fat, so people prefer that, to the fat to drain to the how you say that?
It's like a gutter, but
Yeah,
fat.
exactly. Yeah, it's a gutter that keeps the fat, and then you empty it. But that's a big debate, right? In Argentina, it could be like the B team and the round team. It could be like a 2-hour discussion there.
Okay.
I'm a round team because I like the fat to fall down to the coals and
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the fat dropping into the coals makes a unique flavor. Like,
Yes.
you can smell it from a distance. Like, if you walk up to a place and there's fat being dripped into the coals, you smell the fat smoke.
Exactly.
And then you taste it when you take a bite. And I think if you don't get that, you're missing out on some of what makes this so special.
Thin round bar.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right,
And
what's next?
And also another thing, the bars are more close to each other, and then they're like that. So it's basically they don't have direct contact with the heat.
Right.
It's more like you're like using a griddle, right?
Right.
So B grade, looser. All
All right, tri-tip going on?
Tri-tip going on. I try to put the fattiest part on top.
Okay, is that the same for everything you put on? If it's got a fatty part, it's
Always.
always the fat toward the
Always, yes, always. That's why I love to cook ribs. I like to cook picanha, the fatty tri-tip, because that protection is key. Sausages.
fire. Okay.
These are brats made for our friend in common.
Shout out to Crooked Pine Barbecue for making us like over 300 brats, so that was clutch.
But
Okay.
see how it now,
Yeah.
5 minutes in, see how it drops
Yeah, it's
considerably.
significantly cooler.
Exactly. So now we're gonna drop it to the
Okay.
to where I like it. So this is how I like to cook, at this distance, and then I'm gonna control the heat with adding more coals.
Gotcha.
Okay, chinchulines.
All right.
Tan 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 tan. I saw that face. I saw that face. Yes, this is very common, guys. You know, I understand.
So everybody in Argentina eats them?
Yes, and they love it. But it's like cultural, right? Because for me, growing up in Argentina and coming back here to Texas and see how people are like big fans of crawfish.
Oh,
For
yeah?
me, it's like, how can they eat? For me, it's like no offense for people in Louisiana, that is probably my second favorite state. For me, for my culture, for how I grew up, look at this, people are gonna freak out right now. For me, culturally, when I see a crawfish, for me it's a cockroach from the sea.
Sure.
And I see people sucking their heads, and for me, culturally, it's like, ah. So I imagine that happens the same here, right?
Yeah,
People,
but-
when they see this, they're like, ah.
I think it is largely cultural, but if you're just like very Americanized, like white
True.
bread, you know, you don't eat things that are very adventurous. The idea of eating intestines is not super appealing. But it does make sense that cultures around the world used every part of the animal. And if you
Yes.
can get nutrition out of that part of the
Yes.
animal, why throw it away?
No, nose to tail, right?
Yeah, so I'm totally willing to concede that it's probably more ethical to eat the intestines, but at the same time, it's just not my thing.
Morcisa blood sausage is already cooked, technically, so we're gonna just warm it up. So we're gonna put it on the least heat on the whole grill, right?
Okay.
So we just warm it up, and then we have our matambrito de cerdo, and we have our provoleta that this is cooked super fast, so we're gonna wait a little bit before we put it on the grill, okay?
Gotcha.
Vamos.
All right, so that's it. No seasoning or anything?
Yes, actually yes, but this is the thing. A lot of people season their meat before,
Yeah.
like hours before, people like right before to put on the grill. I like to season on the grill.
And what kind of salt is that?
This is a salt parrillera, my salt parrillera. This
Where
is
can they buy it if they want to buy some?
alfrugoni.com, Amazon. We're gonna keep it traditional Argentinian way, just salt. On the mollejas.
And that's not too much.
No, that's the good thing about the coarse salt. And again, I can't explain it. Maybe you can explain it as a scientist. But this kind of salt, this coarse, the meat is gonna absorb whatever it needs, and the rest is gonna stay on top. And you're gonna see how you can break it off.
That's interesting because I have absolutely no explanation for that
Okay?
at all.
If you like use thin salt, you can oversalt it.
Okay.
With this, you can never oversalt it. Again, don't ask me why.
Okay, what about the chinchulines?
The chinchulines, I just wanna put lemon.
Oh, okay, so no
Yeah,
salt
we
on
can
that.
we can salt it, right? Yeah, we're gonna salt it. Yeah, I was discriminating. Sorry. Sorry, I forgot about you.
How many people live in Argentina?
I think we're close to 50 million.
So there are 50 million chimichurri recipes?
Exactly.
Okay, but chimichurri is required, right?
Yes. Chimichurri is one of the two major sauces in Argentina.
Okay, and so I think we have to make some sauces.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right, can you walk me through how to make the chimichurri and how to make the, is it salsa criolla?
Yes, sir. Criolla.
Criolla.
Yeah.
Salsa criolla.
Yep.
All right, sorry,
All
my
right.
Spanish is not exactly phenomenal.
Oh,
but-
no. Criolla is good in Spanish, not in Argentina. In Argentina, we have the thing that we sh, the double L, so the
Yeah.
Y, we sh. Pollo.
Salsa
Gallina.
criolla.
Criolla.
Am I close? Salsa criolla?
No, that's exactly right. You're good, man. I think we can start working on your residency. So, we just put this, right? This is very hot right next to that. So, as you can see, start cooking way too fast. So I'm gonna separate a little bit here, right? Like I always say, open fire, you have to be always in control, always adapting to the situation, changing whatever you're doing, right? That's better with the tongue, but okay. See? I'm gonna add more coals over here now. See how the first batch, I told you, is gonna
Yeah.
is gonna go fast.
Ooh, it's hot there.
I know.
Ooh.
That's so another very extremely important thing is to keep that firebox going, right? Because to get these embers is gonna take 20 to 30 minutes, right?
Gotcha.
So you don't wanna live without embers, right? So you can constantly have to add
Gotcha.
coals or
So if you get to the point where you need coals and you haven't been stocking the firebox, you might have to wait 30 minutes before you
exactly,
get
yeah,
more
and you don't want that, right?
Gotcha.
That's annoying. That's annoying. It's gonna get you in a bad mood. Another thing, right? You don't want fire. We already remember we talked about the fat burning. We already having that, right? So we need to control that.
Are you allowed to be in
See?
a bad mood? Look at that.
No, never. When you do open fire, no. That's exactly how you get off the bad mood. Is
Oh,
starting grilling,
Okay.
right? That makes
I
sense?
like it. A man after
So
my
see-
own heart.
See how the fat is burning right now?
Yep.
So you don't like that.
So you want all of the open flame to be gone. and
Exactly.
Only coals.
Exactly. Only coals.
Are you trying to keep the heat even over the whole grate, or are there parts where you're like, I want higher heat here and lower here?
No, basically I want the same heat on all the grill.
Yep.
Maybe less here, and I know here, no matter I'm gonna do, it's gonna be hotter than anywhere. So
Sure.
I want to put the mochejas, so like the fast cooks here, or the cooks that can hold more heat. I want to
Gotcha.
put it in this side,
Man, it's already smelling incredible.
right?
All right, we have chimichurri and salsa criolla. So,
Criolla.
salsa criolla.
Okay.
So how are we gonna make them?
Okay, super easy. We're gonna use half of this, 3 tomatoes, and 1 onion. Salsa criolla is very easy. Bell peppers, you can do different colors. Tomato, only the hard part, and onion. All chopped equal parts. Then olive oil, vinegar, salt and pepper to taste, and boom. Salsa criolla.
What about the chimi?
The chimi is a different animal. This is my chimichurri. Alfredo
Alfredoni.com.
chimichurri. Yes, that's my chimichurri. Revolutionary chimichurri. It's a dry mix that you can use it dry, or you can mix it with vinegar, rehydrate for 5 minutes, and then add oil, and then you have a chimichurri ready in 5 minutos.
I'm gonna confess something here.
All right.
When I saw that you did this, I was so bummed because I was like, that is the greatest idea ever. Why did I not think of it? So smart. Such a good idea.
Yes.
All right, let's mix them up. Oh, and link for Al's chimichurri we'll put in the description. My house is never without the chimichurri mix. You can ask my wife or anybody who comes over. I always have some. And by the way, Al, could you send some more to my house?
Of
If
course.
you did, I wouldn't be upset.
Yes, of course. I can send you home with a few cases.
Deal.
All right.
All right, let's do it. Flying saucer, platillo volador.
Jeremy comes out with the most random. Wait, I'm very confused. Salt and pepper to taste.
And what do you put this on?
Mainly beef, but you can put it over chicken, fish. But I like it with beef. That's so refreshing. You're gonna taste it.
Okay.
I think you're gonna like it.
Simple, rustic, but good
Yes.
flavors.
Yes, exactly.
All right, now are you gonna show people the extremely complicated and extremely difficult way to make chimichurri?
Mega easy. We're gonna eyeball it, right? But it's 1 part, whatever you wanna make, mix 1 part of vinegar. You can use any vinegar you want. I prefer red wine vinegar. Now we're gonna mix it, and we're gonna let all these dry herbs absorb all the vinegar for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're gonna add oil. Again, any oil can work. I prefer olive oil. That can get me in trouble in Argentina, but yeah, I'll set it. I said it. I don't
Wait,
care.
what? Preferring olive oil get you in trouble?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. The people in Argentina are very purist, so it's like vegetable oil and just like white vinegar. But I like that. What can I say? I like olive oil.
I prefer, well, if we're keeping track, I prefer to use champagne vinegar because I'm fancy.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I also prefer olive oil. But champagne vinegar I think is delicious. Red wine vinegar, also extremely good. Anytime I make it for myself, I use the spicy version of his chimi mix. And anytime I make it for other people, I use the regular version, red wine vinegar, and still olive oil.
Yeah, and like I always say, people are gonna start commenting like, no, fresh is better. Yes, but this is the thing. You can use this as a base, a chimichurri base. I can see tons of people, creators, that they use the base and they add like fresh garlic, fresh jalapeno, fresh cilantro, right? Habanero.
Or they could roast peppers and add some roasted peppers, mix it in.
Anything you want. This is your chimi base. Play with it. Try it. While this is rehydrating, let's go and check the grill. We've been 1 hour in, so I think we have to move around some stuff.
Cool.
So check this out. I'm liking this color. I'm gonna flip.
That color means flavor.
Yes.
And do you salt the opposite side after you flip, or just one side gets salt?
Depends what, right? Not this, maybe this one on the tri-tip, but when it's thin, I know. I try not to over-salt it.
Gotcha.
My wife would say I always over-salt stuff, but you can always add salt later, right? So you have to be careful. I always prefer to finish in salt at the end. So I like this color, it's a good start. We're gonna flip it. I like this.
Should we turn that around?
Yes, because now it's receiving a lot of heat here. But see how it starts showing the teeth, like I said, right?
Pull back on the bone.
Yeah, exactly. So we are looking good. I'm gonna flip it so this radiant heat from the box is gonna start cooking this part too. Ooh, look at that. See? That needs a lot of heat. So
look at that sear you got on that. Like, most steaks wish they had a sear like that. They had that color.
Exactly. I think the sausages are gonna be done.
That actually looks great. The problem that I think most people have with trying to cook sausages or something similar with charcoal is that they're doing it over kind of like a raging fire, open flames, and the fat drips in there, and they just burn them.
Yes, exactly.
I had a friend who was cooking sausages. The outside was black, the inside was raw.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's a typical. Okay, now flipping the tri-tip. That's the typical mistake, let's say, right? When you cook it super hot, because you're gonna sear the exterior, and that's gonna work as a seal actually, so the heat is stop penetrating. So you're gonna burn the outside, and the inside is gonna still be raw. Chinchulines. Those are gonna need a little more heat. We're gonna get in a little bit more aggressive with that.
You know, the one thing I really appreciate about this style of cooking is you can see what you're cooking the whole time.
Yes.
So it's like you're getting a little bit of a show along to go with dinner, because you can smell it, you can see it. It's almost like the people who are guests are kind of involved because they got eyes on what you're cooking just like you do.
Yes, and I don't like to compare in a bad way, right? I like to compare in a good way. That makes sense? Like, people I say, what did you prefer, to do this or to smoke, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be one or the other, right? So when you compare on the wood way, it's like, okay, I'm so lucky that I live in Texas and I can smoke and I can do open fire, right?
Sure.
But if I have to say something about like, what is the main enjoyment on doing open fire or smoking, I can say, generally speaking, that when you smoke, the joy of the smoking is when you slice on that piece of meat,
Yep.
right? And it's like you put so much work in it. So that final moment when you slice after 19 hours, and then you're getting emotional. No, but you know, turn that brisket, and then you see, and that's the highlight of your cook, right? And of course the taste, and also you enjoy the process. But I think in open fire, the peak of the cook is now. Is enjoying, right? It's more about this, about hanging out around the grill, talking about anything, forget about all the problems. You know, just like a 6 hours of nothing, enjoying each other's company, friends, family.
Talk about soccer in Argentina. Tigre.
Well, that could get violent, right? So you try to.
Maybe don't talk about soccer in Argentina.
No religion, no politics, no soccer. That's it. You try to
Oh
keep
wow!
it.
So soccer has taken that place. No religion, no politics, no soccer.
Well, it depends.
That's serious.
Yeah, it depends. Actually, depends because my group of friends, we're all more like the same team, right? All of us. So nobody wants to talk because we're gonna go, you know. So we're allowed to talk soccer, but in a family that has like different teams, no. It's highly recommend no. So I think we're running. See, can you feel it?
It's a little cooler.
Yep. So we need.
More coals.
Yes, more coals. Now we're gonna start making the matambrito.
Ooh, yes.
See? Okay. See that?
Yep.
We don't like that, but it's easy.
What do you do if you have a fire? Just smother it like that?
See? And if it doesn't stop, what you do, you shovel the whole thing with the grease and then you put it back there.
Ah.
All right? See how it's burning now? See?
Oh, wow. That's okay. That's super helpful. I've been having the same issue with my grill that's like this,
Okay.
and I had no idea how to deal with it. I just thought I had to move everything off of that part of the grate.
No, you can. You can do that. See, we don't have any embers here.
Yep.
Put your hand and tell me if it's not hot.
Oh, still hot.
Exactly.
Is that because of the fire brick or because it's close to the fire
No,
box?
it's because of the fire rate. So while the cook is advancing, right, the grill gets hotter and hotter, and there's less and less that you have to add, right?
Gotcha.
But I like that. I'm kind of concerned about that tri-tip, that it doesn't have a lot of protection.
Sure.
But I'm flipping 2 times already, so I think that's going to be done before we wanted to, but let's see what's going to happen.
The world's smallest cast iron pan.
AKA provoletera.
Provoletera?
Yeah, where you make provoleta, provoletera.
Provoletera.
Yeah, so what we want to do now is to heat up. So probably that's the hottest part of the grill. So we're going to put it there, we're going to heat it up, and then we're going to put the cheese there.
Al, there was a secret to the provoleta that I didn't know the first time I tried to make it. So I tried to sear it off. By the way, provoleta is awesome. If you like cheese, you're going to love this. But the first time I tried to make it, it just melted. What do you have to do to make sure that you can brown the outside without melting all over your cheese?
Okay, first thing you have to do, go to your deli, right, and ask for the provolone cheese, the mild, and you have to cut it like, I think they have like a 15, I think is the measurement, like probably half an inch, a little more, thick.
They'll look at you weird, but that's fine because you're going to eat great after.
Exactly. Yes, that's true. Yeah, they're not going to understand what you're asking for, but yeah, like this thick, and then you want to leave it outside the fridge or inside the fridge on a rack without the how you say, the paper?
The plastic or paper or anything?
Sorry. You have to leave it on the refrigerator or outside without the plastic, and that's in 2-3 days, it's going to create that crust.
Yeah.
Hard crust, right? That it looks like normally you're going to throw it away. Oh, shit. Okay, now, and then that's how you cook it on a griddle.
Yeah.
And that's going to maintain the shape, right?
It kind of dries out a little bit and looks kind of translucent, but then when you put it on either the carbon steel, cast iron, whatever you're going to sear it on, it's not all going to melt. You're going to make this beautiful brown crust on the outside that is just so packed with flavor, it's unbelievable. And the inside is going to be melty and amazing.
Yeah.
My mouth's watering right now.
In this case, now that we have a provoletera, that solves all the problems,
Provoletera.
Right? So we have a fresh piece of cheese now that now is going to be more like a queso fundido, you know, what the Mexicans call like a queso.
Melty.
Yeah. So now it's going to look more like that, right? Because we didn't leave the provoleta rest for 3 days, but it's going to still be top notch.
Pro tip, add some chimichurri to the top of your provoleta. The flavors are just beautiful together.
#Chimi on everything. let's toast some bread for the choripan, because you know Spanish, Jeremy. Chori,
Sausage,
pan,
bread.
exactly. Choripan. That's the Argentinian street food. You can't. I think it's illegal to start an asado without a choripan. So that's the first thing coming out. It's true. The first thing coming out of the grill is going to be the choripanes.
Another pro tip: the plural of choripan is choripanes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not choripans. Don't make the same mistake that I did. Don't be an idiot like me. I see you're putting the lemon on the mochejas and the chinchulines. Do you do
Yes.
that on all the organ meats, or what's the purpose?
Yes, basically, yes. I like to, once I flip it, I like to start adding like the acidity of the lemon. It's gonna start incorporating with the fat. So I like to start doing that. Not at the beginning, because humidity, moist, is the enemy of crust, right?
Right.
So that's why I like to, one side. Once I flip it, I already create that crust, and now I'm gonna
Right.
put them lemon.
So you created the crust, now you're just adding more flavor.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, awesome.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip that moche. I think that this is gonna be a challenge.
Yeah, if you're able to flip that, I'm going to be super impressed, Al.
What do you say, Jeremy?
I don't know what
What did you say?
Said if you're
If I-
able to flip that, I'm going to be super impressed, Al.
That's gonna be my mission in this life now. It was super hot, huh? More than I wanted, but maybe.
You know, the crust on the underside might be the only reason you could flip it.
Yes. A normal guy would have a glove and grab this, right? But I'm not normal. That's why. See? So Santi always wondering why I'm so stupid, but look,
Ooh.
Oh, of course I missed it.
more black than I wanted.
Well, when we flip over the other side and it's perfectly brown, it's going to be fine.
What do you think, guys?
I think by the time you're done cooking, it's going to be perfect.
Oh, fire alert over there. So you know the drill?
I think so.
Huh?
All right, let me try it. That is really going now.
Yeah. You're literally scooping the fire out. Is that cool or what?
I guess so.
Right?
Yeah. So the fat can get caught in the ashes, and then you get
Yes.
raging inferno if you're not careful.
Yes. So that's gonna be extremely hot. So you don't need to add right now because that's, see, it's still hot. So now you come
Oh
back.
yeah,
in
you're right. Wow.
Now you come back in a few, and then you put more coals. Okay, Jeremy, we have the achuras out. So first, like we told you, we have to make a choripan.
Deal. It's one of the easiest things you'll ever make, but also one of the most delicious.
True. You have to butterfly it. Toast your bun.
That looks good.
We're gonna put chimichurri.
Yes, please.
You can put salsa criolla too, but let's keep it traditional. Yeah, it's never enough.
Does the kind of bread matter?
Yes, like
What kind of bread and what kind of sausage?
for the Argentinian sausage, the most similar that I found in the U.S. is the brats actually, because Argentinian sausage is full, it's 100% pork, and the bread I like French bread, baguette.
Yeah.
But actually, any bread the bread that you like. Okay, choripan ready. And now you have to say, vamos los pibes, eh?
What is it?
Vamos los pibes.
Vamos los pibes?
Exactly, okay?
Vamos los pibes.
Yeah.
What did you have me say?
Let's go, boys.
Ah. Vamos los pibes?
Los pibes.
Los pibes.
Vamos los pibes.
Vamos los pibes.
Or you can say, vamos Argentina.
Okay. Vamos Argentina, Concha de la Lora.
You learned that in Buenos Aires, right?
I did.
All right, ready?
I'm still not quite sure what it means, but I know it's probably not good in polite company. It's so good. It's so good. Every time. Crunch from the bread, snappy casings, you taste the pork, you taste the flavor of the sear on the outside. This is everything. It's great.
Yeah. Like you said, so simple, but so good, right?
Do I have to stop eating? All right, we got more food to try. Hold on.
Dude, and I'm hungry. I can eat that.
I'm starving.
Okay, provoleta, guys. It's not my best provoleta, but you know, filming the video, having all this. But
We got in Al's way a little bit.
see, hey, nothing wrong with this. The presentation is not there, but we cut it like a pizza.
Oh.
And let's do salsa criolla on this one.
Okay, I haven't tried that.
I'm gonna prepare one for you.
Thank you, sir. Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Provoleta.
Oh. It's like if a cheese stick and a pizza had a baby. It's so good. I like that. The salsa criolla, so good. It's already good, and we haven't even gotten to the special stuff yet.
That's what I say. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? Next, the morcilla.
Morcilla.
You can eat it like that, right? Cut it, but I like to open it. The case is eatable, right? But I like to do it like this on a toasted bread.
Oh.
I have like a asado bruschetta. Hey, you want to try it?
All right, I have this thing. I can't do blood. I recognize that I probably should be willing to try. I just can't do it. It's a personal thing. I'm sorry, Al.
Hey,
I wish I could join you.
okay. No, more for me. But hey, take care of it in the comments, okay? How about
Yeah,
this?
you can make fun of me, call me out, all that stuff. Totally fair.
Or maybe they're gonna say no. You're right, right?
Well,
Let's
we'll
write
see.
it down, okay? Vamos, I have to try it. Sorry.
Okay.
Horrible.
Yeah? It's good to know.
I invite Santi.
Oh, yeah. Santi's been doing lots of work for us. Like, he's been helping out behind the scenes. So, shout out to him. Adding wood to fires, checking on things. So, it allows us to be able to film while trying to do this cook at the same time. So, whenever we're not paying attention, thank you, Santi. Do a lot of people in Argentina eat that, or is it kind of not very many?
No, it's huge. It's
Like
extremely
everybody?
popular. Yes, it's not everybody's eating it. If not, like if you go to a parrilla, that is like a barbecue restaurant, and you can order like the waiter, you can say, "Give me a matrimonio." Matrimonio means literally a married couple. So he would understand, and he will bring you a chorizo, like a sausage, and a morcilla.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's a married couple, right? So,
A married couple.
hey, bring me a provoleta and a matrimonio, and then boom. This is true.
Nice. Are there any Argentine barbecue restaurants that exist in the United States?
Yes, there's a bunch. I'm gonna fail in saying there's one in Chicago. I never went, but I heard super good things about it. Our friend Carla has one in Miami, right?
Oh, okay.
Carlita, los Tanitos. There's a bunch. I'm not gonna remember now.
But people can go try this food if they want to.
Yes. I don't know about yes. I think so. Yeah. Morcilla. You have to find it, huh?
Gotcha. But is it more fun to do it yourself?
Yes, 100%. Okay, mocheja, your favorite and my favorite. Okay.
It's so good.
So we roasted lemons. That's gonna make the juice go. Look at this. See, way more juice. That's all it needs. This is gonna be fantastic. Look at that. All right.
Okay.
See, it's kind of creamy in the inside. Okay, senor.
Guys, I'm telling you, as bad as it looks, it tastes even better. So,
Cheers.
cheers. Here we go. Food's so good.
Every time.
Crispy on the outside, you get that grilled flavor, you get that sear, and creamy texture on the inside. I freaking love it. So good.
The contrast with
Dude, well done.
Thank you all. The contrast between the fatty and the lemon. Sorry, I had to go again.
Well, if you're going to do it. I think the lemon cuts through and balances it because now you have the mocheja itself, the sear you put on it, the salt you added, and then lastly, the
Yeah.
lemon. Perfect.
Yeah.
Simple, but perfect.
Perfect. And you guys know that mocheja, sweetbreads, at least in Argentina, is the most expensive piece of beef that you can get. Even more expensive, by the pound, it's more expensive than the tenderloin.
Really?
Yes.
That is shocking.
Yes.
So it's the most expensive cut on the animal?
Yes, exactly. It's how they call it here, a delicacy.
Yeah.
Same in some countries in Europe. It's like the best part. Okay, the moment of the truth.
Chinchulines.
Let's put lemon. All right.
Yeah. Here we go.
That's
Try
good.
It tastes kind of like roasted meat. It's not as off-putting as you might think. But you do get some like mineral tastes. Like, I wouldn't call it gaminess, but it kind of iron-like mineral-y taste with the chinchulines. This is a little chewy because it's actually a muscle. So the intestines are going to be moving the food through the body so that it's a smooth muscle. And so you're actually eating muscle. So it's going to be a little chewier than what you get with mochejas. But, you know.
Let me see. Huh? Would you eat it again?
I would. Yeah. I don't think I would go out of my way to eat it.
You wouldn't order it on a menu, let's say.
I wouldn't order it on a menu. If somebody cooked it, I would try it.
Awesome.
The mochejas, I would drive a distance to eat those. The choripanes, I would drive a distance to eat those. This is part of the beauty of this. There's so many different cuts, and there are even cuts that we're not cooking today.
Yeah.
Like vacío is super popular. We're not even doing that today. There are tons of options. This is just a common way that people do Argentine asado.
Yes, exactly.
So we tried the organ meats, all that stuff. What are they called?
Achuras.
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 Okay, what about all the other cuts of beef? We got beef ribs,
Yes.
tri-tip, all that. How do we know when that's done?
Okay, so let's check, right? The tri-tip has been 1 hour and a half, and by the feel, it's done. Now what I'm using is all like, I remember at what time I put it. I control that fire, so I know it didn't burn, right?
It looks great.
It looks great. I like, see when you feel that. Okay. Oh, you're gonna challenge it?
Al, there's somebody trying to steal your grills.
No,
Somebody's
okay,
trying to-
let's
right
do
over
it.
there,
Let's
somebody
do
trying
it.
to steal your grills.
All right,
Al.
where can I
For
say?
the mere mortals.
Don't tell me. 135.
Pretty good.
Here, I think it's more raw. I mean, more rare. Put it here, probably 126.
128.
Right? Okay. But you see?
All right, so this man might not use the thermometer, but he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and it wasn't planned, huh? But I can tell because of this. See how it's less resistant here,
Yeah.
and more hard here. Less resistant, more like fluffy, and here it's more like tight. We're gonna leave it rest for 10 minutes, and it's
Is
almost
that
ready.
the Argentine way, Al?
No, it's not. Yeah, very good. Okay. That's another thing that I learned in the U.S. that I apply to my grilling is let the meat rest. Actually, two things
Okay.
that we don't do in Argentina. One is cut against the grain and let it rest. Believe it or not, I never care about that until I moved to the U.S. And that's two things that I always apply.
Okay.
Now,
So in Argentina, they're pulling it off the grill, cutting it
Boom.
immediately.
Yes.
And it's burning mouths
yes,
right away.
back, yeah. Yeah,
All
I know
right,
the juices. And then you drip the bread on the juices and.
Well, actually sounds kind of good. I like that.
Well, yeah.
But all right, we'll do it. We'll let it sit for
Yeah,
a second,
let
and
it
then what else is going on here?
So we have the rest of the achuras, right? We're gonna cook them, eat them later. This is all done, and then we have the matambrito.
Oh,
That's not very traditional. In the late years, it became very traditional in Argentina. But in my house, my dad used to do it all the time. So we actually do it in the bread right next with the choripanes. It's like a choripan, a matambrito pan.
oh,
Because this is Iberico, it has a lot of intramuscular fat. So I want to cook it I like to cook it very good, these ones.
right. So you liquefy all the fat, and it's super
Exactly.
juicy.
If not, exactly, because it's Iberico, right? It has a lot of. When we cut it, you're gonna see. So I like to cook it a little more because if not, it's gonna have like a rubbery texture.
Sure.
It's gonna be delicious either way.
Right.
But if you cook it more, it's gonna be more in the crispy side.
Now, what are you looking for there? How do you evaluate when that's done, or when it needs to be turned or flipped, or what?
Good question. So I like to see that. I like to see it a little more like this. I like this. I think this side is on. See the membrane that we talk about?
So when you said you liked this, but this needs a little more, are you talking about the pullback on the bones?
Yes. I call it showing the teeth.
Showing the teeth.
Okay, like this, right?
Gotcha.
But probably, because of how is this a specific cut, probably it's not gonna go anymore. But I want to show you this. Look at remember we talked about the crispy, and that maintain not only protect the meat and the bones, maintain the moist there. Actually, you can already eat this. I heard somewhere that bones don't conduct heat, and you can cook with the bone, but I think they refer to other methods, right, of cooking, maybe smoking, but definitely in open fire you use the bone to cook. So that meat that is there, that is probably 170, now we cook it all the way with the bones. So can you measure the temperature right next to the bone?
Right
because
next to the bone?
remember
Right
we cook it all the way here, okay? Boom.
Okay.
So that means that the bone is cooking the meat.
Yeah. It's going through the bone, cooking the meat.
Exactly. Go up
But if
there.
I go to the very top, it's not going to be 140
Exactly.
right there. So
Exactly.
it's all going through, working its way through.
Yes, but if you touch here, I have the glass, but it's warm. That means that it's well. We already measured, right? It was 140, but that's already cooked. So this is ready to flip.
So when you flip it, are you going high temp or low?
No, the same temperature.
Same, exactly.
Same temperature. All right.
I see some bubbling along the fat right here. All right, we're going to cut the tri-tip.
Ooh, it cuts like butter.
Oh yeah, nice work, man. It looks so good, so juicy.
You want to try cut it and try it?
Yes.
And that's one slice. Okay.
Al just asked me a really dumb question. He asked if I want to slice it and try it. The answer is, of course. The only question is, how much chimichurri do we add? Do we try it without chimi first and then add it, or
Well,
what?
yes.
With no thermometer. If you didn't know any better, you'd think Al knows what he's doing. Well, I don't know how you get that texture. Cooking it this way is the only way I've ever known tri-tip to have that softer texture. What is it? Why? I have no idea.
And because it's like even if we cook it an hour and a half, still it's like a slow cook for open fire. When you do it like Santa Maria style, first you flip it 20 times, right? Back, forward, and in 30 minutes you're done. So there's no way in 30 minutes you're gonna have this texture. That's why if you cook like 3 times more, so you have that. So this is it's perfect all the time.
I wonder if it's maybe the high heat that people do on regular Santa Maria grills causing the proteins to coagulate, and so then you take a bite and it's chewy and tough. Whereas this, it's not stringy, it's not tough, it eats like a steak. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
All right, now
Thank
Timmy,
you. Yeah.
I think we need more tri-tip though.
Cuts like butter, guys.
All right, I'm just gonna liberally.
The perfect combo. Tri-tip and Timmy.
Oh yeah. It's like they were made for each other. It's so good.
Me vuelvo loco.
Yes, that too. Oh, with this? Can I try it with this? Can
Yes.
we cut
Oh,
off
yeah,
another
yeah.
piece?
Yeah.
Salsa criolla?
Yes.
And does salsa just mean sauce?
Yes.
Okay. Because
Exactly.
for Americans, I think we hear salsa and we think, oh, it's just regular salsa that you would eat with tortilla chips. That's like the only kind of salsa. But I think you can use salsa to talk about things like salsa criolla or
We call it salsa
chimichurri.
de tomate, salsa tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Right? Like salsa is sauce. Yeah.
Right.
So when you get the chance to have this little fat, remember we talked about that didn't have enough fat, but when you have that ratio of fat and meat is perfect. I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay,
because,
I appreciate that. Salsa criolla. Oh, that's really freaking good. Now we gotta eat some of the other food too. We can't just eat all the tri-tip.
No. He's looking at me. He's about to beat my arm. So. He's gonna beat my arm.
He's standing on duty, ready for any flies with the
All right.
bag of salt. Ooh, matambrito.
Yes, matambrito. I kind of like intentionally overcook it because I want to. Remember, I said we want it in the crunchy side, right? So.
Oh. So that's why you need a machete?
Yeah. Well, I kind of.
You just like the machete?
Showing off a little bit, right? Yeah. For video purpose. You can cut it normal, like a normal guy, but okay. So this is like crispy, delicioso. Wait.
I think I know what's coming. I
Hold.
think it's yellow. Yep.
Hold, William Wallace. Hold. No!
I've been eyeing this guy right
Okay.
here.
Look at that.
Ooh.
Okay.
Crispy on the outside. Look at how juicy this is. Okay, it's crispy on the outside. You might think it's dry, but there is so much rendered fat in there. It's absolutely ridiculous, my friend. It doesn't taste like any other kind of pork. There's no other bite of pork I've ever had that tastes like that. That's incredible. It's like if a steak and like a pork chop had a baby, but the baby was way more good looking than either parent, it would be this. It's so good. Erica, you want to try this? Can you see how juicy that is? Can you see that? It's unreal. That's so freaking good, Al. Criolla? Okay. Salsa criolla? I guess you can just keep combining and find out what you like. You're right. That is perfect. I think maybe the chimi would be a little too flavorful, and you don't get the pork. That's perfect.
Yeah. Ready for the dessert? Okay.
Hey.
Temp check. Still.
Right. It's correct.
Ready for the dessert?
All right, beef ribs. Here's the thing.
Beef ribs. Yeah.
This is the first cut that I cook all the time that we've done today. I mean, I cook tri-tip sometimes. I've done some Iberico. I cook beef ribs all the time.
All right.
But I've only ever cooked them like this once, and it wasn't as good as you do. So I want to see how this turned out.
All right. Let's see. Let's see first if we can take this off. Well, yeah. Okay. Sorry about this. I'm doing so much. I have to make so much water. So.
Al, what you're doing is sacrilegious. You have to leave the meat on the bone.
What is that?
It's the Texas way. You're a Texan now.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Al is officially a U.S. citizen.
Hey,
so
pass me the duct tape. See?
that membrane.
Don't leave the membrane. It's chewy. It's disgusting. Yeah, you're right.
What? I don't think I ever tried that. Okay, hold on.
Oh.
Al, I'm not disbelieving you, but it's actually quite nice. Oh, here we go. What the heck, Al? That is about the juiciest beef rib I've seen.
Is it? I can see.
It's like a waterfall, Al. It's a waterfall.
Remember when I said don't trim the fat, you can trim it later?
Yeah.
So this is the time, right? Look, tack. So you take it off. If you don't like it, and boom, you have the meat. But what? This meat protected them. You see? Look at that. Look at that. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, Al, I don't think I've seen a beef rib that juicy.
And the bite. Wait to try the bite of this.
Is this a
Because-
chimney appropriate bite?
Well, first we need to bite it like that, without
Okay.
anything, right? Because I want you to try the texture.
Sure. All right, I'll try it. The Argentine way, super hot. It's
Yeah.
super hot. Here we go. You're right about the salt. The salt is perfect. Oh, ow. It's tender. How'd you get it this tender?
I didn't do anything. You see what?
No, I mean, some people have tried to smoke beef ribs and they don't achieve this tenderness. I mean, you can just see it come apart, fall apart. It's just
Yeah.
wild. So good.
And fatty.
Oh.
Right. That's honestly, I think it's my favorite cut.
It's
If you
like
ask
those
me-
little squares of Wagyu steak that you see people cook in Japan, the Japanese A5. That's what this tastes like.
Look at that. Ridiculous.
That's so good.
No.
That's even better than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be good. That's even better than I
It's
thought.
like a delicious steak, but way more tender.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a great steak, but even more tender.
So you want to try the chimi or
Yes.
whatever?
You want to try the salsa criolla?
Yeah, 1 and 1. Okay.
Okay, deal. Ow. Man, I'm inspired all over again to go do this again at home.
That's what it's all about, man. I know it sounds cheesy, but when you have people calling you that they start doing this kind of cook, or you inspire them, or they share with you the pictures of their cooks, honestly, it's absolutely, I don't know how to explain. Again, it sounds cheesy, but I'm sure it happens to you a
Well,
lot.
it matters to you that people are learning and they appreciate
Exactly,
what you
yeah,
do.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. So that makes me feel very good, honestly, because it's also, I'm very grateful to be in this country. This is the country that we picked with my family to live, and I love this country and have the possibility to me come here, share a little bit of my culture, and inspire people to do the same. It's mind blowing.
Well, the food is mind blowing. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Nice job, man.
I'm not just a pretty face. You know, I can cook too.
Yeah, okay, it's good to know. Good to know. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I also want to thank Al for inviting me to his place, for cooking for me all day and showing me the ropes on how to do a real Argentine asado. What we wanted to do is give you guys all the tools you need to know how to go about doing your own asado at home so you can start making this food instead of just watching other people make and eat it. Because I'm telling you, eating it yourself is a lot more fun. And if you're a fan of this style of cooking, Al, what's the best place that they can follow you?
Al Frugoni in all platforms.
So TikTok, Instagram,
Yes.
YouTube long form starting just now. So by the time this video comes out, you can go over and subscribe to that because he's going to be doing a lot of really awesome content. It's fun to watch and also very educational. So thanks again, Al. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I really appreciate it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, you can hit the like button down below. And you can also subscribe to the channel for more fun and informative barbecue content. You can follow me on all social media platforms, including Patreon, @MadScientistBBQ. I'll see you next time.